This is a short video to show you how to use Vetoslide.
Vetoslide comes in a box of 12 tests. Each test is two-sided and sits in a tube that is similar to a milk sample pot. You will also find an individual swab for each test. The first thing we need to do is make sure we have a clean environment and work surface to do the testing. You also need clean gloves. When doing any form of milk testing, it is essential to get a sterile milk sample from the cow. Make sure your sample is identified by writing the cow number and the date taken. We don't need a large amount of milk, and it is much more important to get a small, clean sample than a large contaminated one. If you need any advice on the best way to do this, please ask your vet or look online at the AHDB website. Ideally, do the Vetoslide test within a couple of hours of the milk being taken, but if this isn't possible, refrigerate the sample and use within 24 hours. So if we look at the test, Vetoslide has two sides which grow different groups of bacteria. The red side grows gram-positive bacteria and the green side will grow gram-negative bacteria. It's extremely important that we don't get any fingers or dirt onto this growth area where the milk is going to be cultured, as this is likely to result in a contaminated sample and therefore an inaccurate result. The best thing to do is to unscrew the top of the Vetoslide test and leave it unscrewed and hanging in the pot ready to be used. Then unscrew the lid from the milk sample and leave the lid placed on top of the sample pot. Next, take your sterile swab. Make sure that when you open it, you use the end with the wooden handle so you don't touch the actual swab and contaminate it. Remove the lid from your milk sample, insert the swab and let it draw up some milk. Then, take the Vetoslide out of its pot and start plating the sample. Start at the lid end, then move the swab across and down one side of the Vetoslide in a zigzag motion. Put the Vetoslide back into its pot and insert your swab into the milk sample again. Have a look to check which slide you've already done. So we've done the red slide already and we now need to go and do the green side. Again, starting at the base, slowly take the swab over the Vetoslide in a zigzag motion. If you look, you can just about see a zigzag of milk on either side. Place the Vetoslide back in the pot and screw the lid tightly shut so that no contamination can happen while the test is being incubated. Your swab is now dirty and needs to be disposed of in clinical waste, but you can keep your milk sample and put it in the freezer so it's available if you need it to do any further testing with this sample. Make sure that you have transferred the cow's ID number onto your Vetoslide so that you can identify it after incubation. It's then ready to be put in the incubator.
Your incubator needs to remain between 35 and 37 degrees C. Check the temperature before placing your Vetoslide into the incubator.
After 8 to 12 hours, you can remove your test. This is one we've done previously. And you can have your first look to see if there are any growths on the green gram-negative side. Any growth on the green side indicates gram-negative bacteria. On this example, where we've got gram-negative growth, these are bacterial colonies. They are dark red in colour, which only happens when gram-negative E. coli are present. If they were clear or a creamy colour, this would indicate another type of gram-negative bacteria. At this stage, nothing is going on the gram-positive side. But even if you have growth when you check at 8 to 12 hours, you still need to put the test back in the incubator for the full 24 hours, then look at the slides again on both sides. If the red remained like this, it would indicate no gram-positive growth. Bacteria grow in different sizes and colours, and here are just some examples of what you might see.
If you have growth on both sides, or it looks like there are different types of growths on one side, you will either have a multi-species infection or a contaminated sample. If you are in doubt about any result, please take a photo and discuss it with your vet. A slide that has no growth or gram-negative only growth would often indicate that there is no need to treat that animal with an antibiotic, whereas growth on the red gram-positive side would be more suggestive of the animals needing antibiotic treatment. Please discuss treatment protocols with your vet. For further information about Vetoslide, please contact your vet or Vetoquinol UK.